Welcome everybody to the tip-off of our second game of our doubleheader here in the Knight Sports Arena. The Southern Virginia men's basketball team hosting the Wesley College Wolverines. In the first game of our doubleheader today, the women's team came oh so close, very close down the wire, but ended up dropping that game by 4. The Knights would love to send the men's team home feeling a little less good about themselves by comparison.
Yeah, and this is a huge game in the Capital Athletic Conference, not just for Knights, but for 4 other teams. 5 teams tied at 5 and 6 in the conference. 3 teams tied at 4 and 7. After today, we're going to have some definite separation at some areas, and the Knights want to be the ones that are going up.
Absolutely. They've played once this season already at Wesley. Wesley came away with the victory there. This game has already been rescheduled twice because of the snow that hit the area and up in Delaware as well. I'm sure these teams have been gearing up for this for quite a while, and the impact is just all the more great with the other games that have been booked. The deeper we get in the season, the more important where you fit into that lineup is. And speaking of lineups, starting lineups coming in now. First, for Wesley College, they start number 2, Wayne Lennon, number 12, Jordan Johnson, number 15, Tyrone Craven, number 23, Anthony Bowers, number 34, Evan Anderson. And Mike, who do we have for the Knights?
Well, it's the old familiar lineup for the Knights. Number 4, Nate Adamson. Number 10, Anders Jacobson. Number 11, David Beatty. Number 30, Kevin Walker. And number 45, Justin Langford.
Well, number 11, David Beatty, recently in an outing dropped 37 in a loss that the Knights had. Unfortunately, had a difficult time carrying the load by himself. The second leading scorer in that game had 5 points. So distribution will be very important tonight. Of course, Beatty putting up a big game would be very helpful, but you've got to have more than one person. We've talked several times about you have to have 2 or 3 people at least in double digits to be effective.
Well, in some of these games with the Capital Conference, the teams are so familiar with each other, you need to have 4 to 5 people in double figures because they're going to key on somebody, and the Knights have to come out to play. We've seen some great games here in the barn. The Knights play at home really well, as we saw them play the number 9 team in the nation, Christopher Newport, to a very close game. On the road, though, that's where they've had their difficulties.
Well, we'll see how they start off today. Beatty gets the tip to Adamson, and we are underway. As you mentioned, the traditional starting 5. And we start off 10 seconds into the game with Kevin Walker picking up his first foul on the offensive end. The Knights have been plagued by offensive fouls throughout this season, both charges and moving screens.
Unfortunately, not a good way for the Knights to start. Usually when Kevin starts out with a quick foul, 2 or 3 follow very quickly also.
It's been known to happen. Good pass there, and an offensive foul at the other end. Wayne Lennon repaying the favor. I don't know when the last time I saw a game start off with 2 offensive fouls is.
Very quickly. Good positioning by both teams. Both teams on the defense clearly outside the restricted arc. Both teams are going to have to try to figure out on the offensive end, I just need to pull up for a little jump shot.
Pressure on the inbounds. It gets into Adamson. Double teamed. And outlets to Jacobson. Adamson, good find to Walker, and there will be no foul this time as Walker is the trailer, gets the lob and the easy backdoor cut.
Well, that was a great curl from the high post down to the low post by Walker.
Missed 3. And a poor shot at the other end. Adamson comes away with a rebound. Knights looking to move quickly.
You know, looking at matchups out there, the Knights have the height advantage in just about every position.
Adamson, stutter step, kicks out to Jacobson. No dice. And the rebound comes away to Lennon and the Wolverines. Looking to get their first basket of the game, and a travel.
Again, both teams very unsettled in what they're trying to do, except for that one play where we saw Walker curl down from the high post.
Well, perhaps it's the intensity of the game. Perhaps it's that it's been or the importance of the game. Perhaps it's been rescheduled a couple of times. There's a lot of things it could be. It's also at an unusual time of day. Could be a lot of things out there, but whoever settles in first will be at a big advantage.
Both teams had to take yesterday off as far as practice time because of the NCAA rule that you have to have 1 day off in 7.
6 seconds to shoot. Beatty, long three, in and out.
And those are the shots.
That rule, by the way. 1 in 7?
1 in 7.
I heard a rule, something else like that.
Yeah, there's another one written someplace.
Yeah, somewhere. Nice pull up that time, not forcing the shot, but finding an opening is Bowers. Beatty looking ahead to Walker. Great skip pass. Look at that. Finds Jacobson, who makes short work of getting to the basket. That was a beautiful catch pass, though. Just a touch up in the air there by Walker.
And you saw Jacobson think about the three and then say, hey, no one's in front of me going to the basket. I'm going to get the easy one.
Yeah, an open three versus a very easy two. And that one's going to get away. They are gunning for our camera people today. What is going on? Great defensive effort that time by Rob Salisbury, protecting the camera equipment. I like that.
Yeah, we're going to have to put up a little cage around our camera people. But that's what they get paid the big bucks for.
Absolutely. Putting their bodies on the line every time out here. Langford. Not a good shot. Had to change it in the air, looked like. And the Wolverines coming back. Over the screen that time, Jacobson on the rebound. And a block the call. That one's going to go against Evan Anderson, his first. And we're about on our usual pace of 3 fouls, 3 minutes.
Let's hope, though, we break that pace. We don't want to see 40 fouls in 40 minutes because that would make this game go on forever.
The last game we had here at home, the last men's game, had 53 fouls.
And it went on forever.
It did. I just went home, had time to clean up, and had to come back, I feel like.
Yeah, the last 8 minutes of that game.
Turnaround by Langford, tipped back out by Walker. Beatty on the baseline, gets it. So 3 baskets by 3 different nights so far. And, of course, just the one for Wesley.
Well, this is a great start for the Knights. We've seen them start slow and then have to spend a lot of energy to come back. We've seen them start fast and then tail off in the second half. Hopefully this is just a continuous effort that we're going to see the rest of this game.
Jacobson coming away with a lot of rebounds as well. Kicks out to Adamson. Thought about it. Oh, good lob over to Langford. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up. And now 4 Knights on the board. If the next basket goes to Adamson, the whole starting lineup will be on the board.
And Justin just has to take his time down in the post. He has so much more strength and size than the opposing player that's guarding him.
Oh, yeah. No good that time. Walker goes up for that one. I dare say that was Kevin Skywalker. The Knights back on
for all those
now.
that are Star Wars aficionados.
There's Adamson. Loses the dribble after running into a body. 6 seconds to shoot. Jacobson's got to put it up. He does. In and out. Walker with the rebound. Into Langford. Well, it wasn't a basket all around, but an 8-2 start, now 10-2. You can't argue with.
No, and this is one of the better starts that we've seen. May not be score-wise one of the better starts we've seen, as we've seen the Knights really jump out on people and get up double-digit figures. But we're looking at just an overall game of the Knights now.
Yeah, very impressive. The Knights throughout the season have had, at times, done very well situationally. They'll do in one phase of the game. They'll do well in their transition offense, but break down on defense, or they'll in different areas. But so far, a very well-rounded game, perhaps better than we've seen from them all season.
Well, and a lot of attacking the basket.
Yeah.
That's going on the offensive end. And the offense looks very continuous and fluid instead of some of the herky-jerky movements that we've seen.
10-2 here in the first 5 minutes. Great start for the Knights. Making sure we've got everything as it should be. And we're underway.
Again, those seconds add up at the end of the game, and so the referee's trying to maintain and stay on top of it.
Yeah, it matters then, so it matters now.
Yeah.
No situational ethics there. 10 seconds to shoot. Great job by the Knights, and a double dribble. The Knights really defending as a unit very, very well.
Yeah, when you see them all moving on the ball instead of moving individually, you notice that that's the best team defense that they can throw out there.
And just the handoff. Yeah. You know, Jacobson defends for a second and then turns knowing that Walker's there to help. So impressive. Very disciplined, very assignment-based. Beatty back up to Langford. Pulls up, free throw line. And the rebound will come to Wesley.
Yeah, and Justin has to shoot that shot. If he doesn't, then they're just going to lay off him and clog up the lane. So we've seen him make that shot time after time after time.
Yeah, he's got range to the elbow. He's got range all the way to the three-point line. Not a pretty shot that time. No reset of the shot clock. It will reset that time. And the quick putback by Rashawn Brinkley.
And that's one of the first breakdowns we've seen on a shot defensively by the Knights. No box out there, just trying to jump with the Wolverines.
Adamson trying to round out the starting five. Just too strong on that one.
Looks like Wesley wants to slow the thing down right now. Try to find their bearings once more.
Stepping into the shot that time, very short. And a lot of, traveling violation. I was going to say, he's taken a lot of steps on that. There was some contact, but that's where we're falling. That's the thing. Once the call is made, it's very, very rare they're going to make an overturn, and it's typically only if the other referee disagrees. They don't tend to believe players in that situation.
And when you just throw your body around looking for fouls, referees can see through that.
Right. There's the letter of the law, and then there's the spirit. Whoa, airmailed that one.
And that time, Adamson just waited a little bit too long to accept the double team.
Yeah, very difficult corner to try to work out of there.
Maybe a little bit quicker reversal to Beatty and then over to Jacobson would have been a better passing situation for them.
Rumbaugh and Thornton come in the game.
And this is the first time we've seen Rumbaugh in a while.
It is. Oh, great job, Stutter, on that. A good shot fake by Lawson. And the Wolverines climbing back in.
Oh,
numbers for the moment. Jacobson content to go all the way. And will draw the contact. That's going to be a foul on Saeed Kelly.
And we saw a little pass fake there. Froze the defender. So Jacobson was able to get his shoulders in and square up to the basket, draw the foul. I think that's what you were calling for in the last game, right?
Yeah, a little
pass
bit.
fake.
Well, and you see exactly what happens when you do it. Well, and there's the benefit of not only do you catch them off sometimes, do you fake them and then have an open pass elsewhere, but the other thing is after that happens, it's the effect of, well, wait, he faked me last time. Do I jump or not? It's causing that extra half-second delay in the mind of the defender that alone can be such a tool.
That's huge, Art, just like you said. Anytime you can make the defense think instead of react, then you have them at your mercy.
Thornton really working hard down low. That one rolls out. Deflected. I think Beatty changed that shot. the long look ahead by Jacobson, and a great defensive effort as the look ahead to Rumbaugh. Credit to the Wolverines for getting back and breaking that up.
Now the Knights get to run one of their sets from out of bounds.
Almost smart.
Almost found Thornton underneath the basket by himself.
Thornton really bodying up there on Brinkley. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Rumbaugh, too much, put back.
Oh, a nice athletic move by Jacobson, understanding shot clock.
Yeah. Knowing that caught no rim before it, catching it in the air, putting it back up with 5 seconds left, getting himself to the free throw line.
That is just a smart, heady play.
First foul will go on Tony. And not only that, I think it's important to notice as well, he really protected the ball with his body there to make sure it wasn't just deflected out of bounds, really forcing the referee to make that call. Makes them both as well. Jacobson leading the way with 6. Losing ball. Blocked that time by Walker.
And if
there's going to be a foul.
That's his second. And they're going to call Rumbaugh.
Yeah, I think Walker had a clean block. It was Rumbaugh around front who may have had some contact with the body.
And that was unfortunate because Rumbaugh got pushed into the shooter by one of the Wesley Wolverines.
Yep. First free throw is good for Brinkley.
Well, the Knights have to be aware right now on a made free throw of a press coming up.
And that is what they get. Rumbaugh receives the inbound. Back to Beatty.
And just token pressure there, but it was great to see them inbound the ball to Rumbaugh. He can look over the top of the traps.
Lob up top to Thornton. Nice touch pass. And fouled.
Yeah, Tony came across the body. You can't do that with a shooter.
Tony called for that.
And Jacobson will have 3 shots.
Yeah, I got to say, I saw pretty clearly. I think he had a toe on the line, but certainly there are calls that go either way. We'll be more than happy to be the benefactor of this one, especially if the person there at the line is Anders Jacobson, who has been known to make a living there. I've spent many a day in the gym walking through and seeing that man right there doing exactly what he's doing right now, which is making free throw after free throw after free throw.
Well, and it's nothing more than repetition. Once you get a refined repetition and a great motion, you can almost walk up there blindfolded and shoot those free throws.
Extending that lead.
Yeah. The Knights couldn't ask for a better start right now.
17-8. And in dominant fashion, 15 to shoot now for Wesley.
Well, again, we've seen the Knights start off like this. Now the next 10 minutes are going to tell us a lot. Can they continue this continuity defensively and offensively?
And falling to the ground. And that foul called on Beatty. I didn't see it. I'm sure it was there.
David did reach in on him. But if they're going to call that foul, it should have been on the floor because he wasn't in his shooting motion when David did foul him.
Well, let's be honest. There wasn't a shooting motion there. There was a throw the ball up and maybe it'll go in.
That's true, but this isn't the NBA, so there's no real continuation, or shouldn't be.
And that free throw good as well. Brinkley leading the way for the Wolverines. Jacobson comes down with it.
And you see a little zone pressure here by the Wolverines.
And Adamson now at the helm to Rumbaugh.
They back off into a nice little man-to-man.
Jacobson, 8 to shoot. Got to create something. Rumbaugh for three. Gets it as the shot clock runs down to 2 seconds.
And that's what you call offensive execution.
You can tell Rumbaugh didn't want to take the shot. He kind of faked for a second and said, well, I've got 2 seconds. So
well, yeah, he's been out for a while, and that's not the first shots you want to take. You'd rather get an easy layup or dunk. Yeah. So his confidence should be sky high now.
And the response at the other end, Evan Anderson makes his first basket. Rumbaugh, good pass fake, and then finds Beatty. Gives it right back. Pass is thrown away, though. And they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, Rumbaugh reached in again.
Rumbaugh, that's a quick second for him.
And Aaron made a slight mistake. He wants to always stay behind the ball handler opposite him, give him an outlet. That way, David got in a little bit of trouble, looked for somebody, and Aaron had already made his way up court.
Yep. Free throw shooting very good for both teams so far in this contest. Jace Edmonds entering the lineup for the Knights. He'll relieve Rumbaugh, likely because of that second foul. So the Knights now with Adamson, Walker, Jacobson, Edmonds, and Thornton. Second free throw good as well. Anthony Bowers re-enters for Wesley College.
Little 1-2-1-1 pressure.
Jacobson really getting hassled. Gets it across to Adamson. Well, we've seen a lot more pressure from a lot of teams across the CAC this season, haven't we, Mike?
Yeah, again, the men are trying to do that because they're used to a 35-second shot clock and now down to a 30-second shot clock.
Cale Thornton connects that one off the glass one-handed.
So everybody's a little bit out of their comfort zone and how much time they actually have to run their sets.
And the three is good. Evan Anderson.
And all of a sudden, the Wolverines are starting to warm up here in the barn.
The lead down to 4. Lob over the top. Good look to Thornton. And just like that, the Knights able to quickly respond. They have weathered some runs here by Wesley College very well. And that full timeout called by Coach Caputo wants to talk it over as the lead is now 6.
Well, I have another observation, but I'm not going to say anything because I know what happens when I do. It always brings bad luck.
Small sample size. We don't have enough to test that theory.
Are you ready?
Let's get some more evidence. Give it to me.
Cal Thornton's been in.
Oh, I've thought this. Go ahead.
For about 3 minutes and has scored 4 points and has yet to pick up a foul, which is kind of amazing for the foul magnet, as we've seen earlier.
It's a strange day. We have Gamby, who shoots very, very well from the field today. Uncharacteristically, we have Thornton now, who's made contributions and a lot of minutes, no fouls. It's a weird day, Mike.
It might be the start time.
It might be. Maybe that's what. Maybe Cale's a morning person. This is more in his rotation. Maybe Jamil's a morning person.
Well, I'm sure that if the Knights can go on and finish this game out in good fashion, that Coach Caputo might be lobbying for, hey, let's have some more 5 o'clock games.
Let's move them earlier in the day. One of the superstitions of when we start games at 5 o'clock, we're 1-0.
Yeah.
Or when we play games and I wear these socks, we're 1-0.
And basketball players and coaches are some of the most superstitious people out there.
Well, whatever's doing it, it's working.
We just got to make sure it continues.
Absolutely.
And when I say we, I mean the players out on the floor.
No, it's all us, Mike. It's all us.
I'm with you.
Clearly.
I could only wish to be back out there again.
I could only wish to have been out there the first time.
Oh, nice strip by Adamson.
Adamson does not have numbers.
Yeah.
Wisely pulls it out. Thornton goes up strong, gets it blocked, and blocked
Mosley got it. Mosley got him on the elbow.
Mosley going hard, preventing a dunk out here in pregame. The rule change now, you're allowed to dunk in pregame. The Wolverines putting on a little bit of a show with their dunking abilities.
Emmett's going to make him earn it from the line.
That Rasan Brinkley.
Which if Brinkley does earn it for a line, more power to him. But you do not want to give up dunks to the opponents to energize them any more than they are.
Still very impressed, though. The free throw shooting from both teams.
Both teams are very good free throw shooting today.
Adamson, double team. Finds Walker, able to save it under his own basket. It's all over the place. The pinball game goes the way of the Wolverines, who pull up at the other end, and the quick basket, and right back into the pressure is Bowers. 2-point game now. And stolen away again, consecutive possessions, but then give it right back as that ball flies out of bounds.
And forced errors versus unforced errors. If you're going to turn the ball over, make it a dead ball turnover so you can't get out in transition. The Knights having a little bit of problem right now with some forced turnovers that lead to points for the Wolverines.
And an offensive foul called on Adamson, his first.
And you have to be so technical setting screens now. When you have to live the letter of the law on the screens. If you lean or breathe the wrong way on a screen, they're going to call you on it, and that's just the emphasis this whole year. It's nothing new. It's been all year long.
That down off the foot. Good tip that time. Edmonds. Really scrappy defense. This the opportunity for the Wolverines to tie or take the lead. The Knights led by 8 earlier in this half. But the momentum has certainly started to turn. No good on that. Beatty with the rebound. Oh, and look at that volleyball kind of touch pass. But alas, stepping on the end line.
And about the 12-minute mark, we made the comment of the Knights were playing very well offensively and defensively. Everything was flowing.
Complete game, yeah.
Now the offense has started to bog down so much to the point where the turnovers are just happening at a very high rate.
Well, that was the other thing. You were saying don't turn the ball over, live ball turnover. Also, it helps if you don't do it in front of your opponent's basket. Walker now gets a run out. Good look to Beatty. Can't quite finish over a defender. I think the Knights are trying to go a little too fast on the offensive end.
Yeah, they need to dial it down about 1 or 2 notches. You want to only play about a 7 or 8 speed on offense. Defense, 10 all the way.
And a pull-up that time is good for Anderson.
And we're seeing some mid-range game being really exploited here by the Wolverines.
Jacobson goes in, and even though he loses it, the defender had 2 hands on him, which will send him to the free throw line.
And no matter what's going on, if you put 2 hands on the offensive player, they were going to call you for it.
It's done. So interestingly, Mike, only 2 starters for the Wolverines have scored. That's Bowers with 4 and Anderson with 7, as Anders Jacobson makes that, leading away for the Knights with 10. And then 2 scorers off the bench, Lawson and Brinkley, and that's it. The Knights have 6 different Knights on the board, scoring-wise. But Jacobson now with 11, many of which have come at the free throw line. I think he's got at least 7 from the free throw line.
Yeah, and now you can start to really refine your stroke from the free throw line. We know that Anders has had a few games where he's struggled a little bit from the outside.
Great rebound that time by Langford, who's back in. Mosley. So the lineup for the Knights now, Langford, Mosley, Walker, Beatty, and Jacobson. Finds Beatty. Lean over the top, no good. Saved by the Wolverines. And the slow up, a heady play by Craven. Gets out in front of him and then jams on the brakes. That's illegal if you're driving a car, but in basketball.
In basketball, it's all good for the ball handler. On the other end, if David would have just went up for the shot instead of leaning in, trying to create so much contact, would have been a bucket for him.
No good on the basket, though. It ultimately works out for the Knights. Mosley does pick up his second foul, though. Knights working around. Go to Mosley. Down the lane, and it gets thrown out. 9 to shoot. Mosley goes to the deck.
Very emphatic block there. But if you talk to the coaches, they would much rather you block the ball, keep it in bounds.
Just grab it. If you can get that much arm on it, just grab it.
Just grab it.
Inbound to Beatty. Immediately shoots and connects. Beatty now with 4, which is the lead.
And that's when David's at his best, when he doesn't really put a lot of thought into the shot. He overanalyzes some things too much. When he just has the shot go up in his natural motion, everything looks good.
Pull up there is an air ball. Going back the way, and it seems again, momentum now shifting back to the Knights.
And the rowdies here in the barn will let him know about that for the rest of the game.
Yeah, he doesn't need an iPhone to remind him about that one. He's got a whole crowd of people.
And
diving
you
out
have
of bounds.
Anderson there trying the old timeout. That would have worked about 5 years ago.
Right. So we're making sure we've got the clock set correctly. 5:01 now. And there we go. Inbound to Jacobson. That pressure still being applied, though now just to slow them down. Not a true full court.
And it's just to take up time so the Knights can't run their sets.
And 2 hands. Oh, the arm bar. That's Craven called for the foul. And Anders Jacobson back at the free throw line, also known as home sweet home.
Home sweet home for him today.
Mm-hmm. Makes the first. We've talked about it before, Mike, but what a commodity to have a free throw shooter.
Who handles the ball the majority of the time?
Yeah, well, that too. And, of course, I said something. Oh, Langford, though. Jacobson steps into it. Skying for rebounds. And it comes away to the Wolverines. Beatty slow to get up.
Oh, nice
Walker!
steal.
Beatty was just setting up for this. And fouled on the way up. Smart foul.
Very smart. Again, doing what we've been advocating a lot for all teams. If you're going to foul, make sure the ball doesn't get out of the hands.
Don't.
To the dismay of the fans.
Well, and that's the thing.
They want to see the dunk.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we mean when we talk about a hard foul. We're not talking about hurting anybody. We're talking about making sure that the shot is not that you give them either the shot or the free throws, not the possibility of both.
Yeah, every player out there knows the difference between a hard foul and a dirty foul.
Oh, yeah.
No one minds a hard foul. Mm-hmm. Everybody minds the dirty foul.
Beatty with his 5th point of the game. And we asked for distributed scoring, and we've got it. 12-5, 2-3, 4-4. Jacobson, Beatty, Walker, Rumbaugh, Langford, Thornton. In that order. And that's another point for Beatty. And that's going to bring Rumbaugh back in for Langford. The Knights have stretched this lead out to 7 with 4.5 minutes left. Would love nothing more than to keep seeing that grow. Great defense by Walker, changing the shot, and a block very quickly. Wayne Lennon, and I'll tell you, Mike, there's been a fair number of fouls called, 16. We're on our pace. But they really haven't been the story of this game, except as it pertains to Jacob's free throw shooting. 2 for Lennon, 2 for Tony. On the night side, 2 for Rumbaugh, 2 for Mosley. It almost rhymes.
There we go. And for the most part, I can't think of one that we really said, I don't know if that was one or not.
Yeah, yep. Beatty makes the first. Well, and also 7-9.
Yeah.
Close across the board. It's been close the whole way. Offensive both ways. Yeah. I dare say a well-officiated game so far, Mike.
Oh, you just jinxed it.
Like I said it's a weird day. I said it's a weird day.
That's going back to Cale Thornton not having any fouls.
And Jamila Gamby in the previous game.
Yes. And Jamila going almost perfect from the field.
Great defense, travel. Yep, that is a beautiful call. Very good call by the referee. Lot going on there, but he got it right. The lead is 9. The Knights forcing a turnover. Beatty to inbound. Having fun as he always is. And gets it into Adamson. Again, just some token pressure.
Well, these last 4 minutes are going to be very important for the Knights. They really want to go into halftime feeling really good about themselves.
Jacobson gets the foul. Will go to the line again. That's Chris Scott recently in the game and is greeted to the game with a foul call.
Well, if you talk to most coaches, they'll tell you that there's 4 most important times of the game: first 5 minutes of the first half, last 5 minutes of the first half, and then the first 5 minutes and last 5 minutes of the second half. So if the Knights can win this last 5 minutes as they did the first 5 minutes, they can go into the locker room saying, hey, guys, we've got it. We just got to win the first and last 5 minutes of the second half.
Well, they're definitely doing that now. The lead to double digits for the first time today. And it is 11. Anders Jacobson. I will be very interested to see his free throws. He's missed 1.
He's missed 1.
But I think he's probably 9 for 10 now. Well, it's an odd number because he shot a 3. 10 for 11. Pull up. No good.
Nice
Beatty.
box out by the Knights.
Yeah.
Rumbaugh.
1-on-4. So that, you know, what do you say about David Beatty except 1-on-4? I like those odds. Let's go for it. The lead is 13. And that's going to be a foul on Beatty. No, it's going to be oh, excuse me, it is Beatty.
Yeah, I understand the problem there. He said white wearing kind of a silver color.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I'll tell you what it is. I saw 11, and airballed the free throw badly. This shows how long I've been doing this, Mike. He said number 11, and I go, no, that's Isaac Jacobson. And I was like, wait, he's not here anymore.
If you ask Tooney, he'll tell you that the basket moved on that one.
Mm-hmm. Able to make the second. That's how I knew Isaac and Anders different, because the second one is the I for Isaac. And a quick foul again. Scott has not been in the game very long, but he's already got 2 fouls. So both teams have 3 players with 2 apiece. And interestingly, each team only has 1 starter with 2 apiece.
Well, we've seen both teams substitute liberally, and the substitute players picking up a lot of fouls very quickly.
I talk a lot about math. I like statistics. I realize this is a sport, and sometimes the two play well together, but boy, I just love the statistics of basketball.
They can tell you a lot as far as your efficiency, your opponent's efficiency or deficiencies.
They can also lie to you a lot, though, if you're not careful.
There are several statistics that some coaches rely on that tell you the wrong thing.
Well, and everything in context as well. Illegal screen. That on Bowers, his second. And this might be the first time all season the Knights have gone into the locker room with a deficit in fouls, which is a good thing, of course.
It's a very good thing. Well, in the last 2.5 minutes, we could see a parade to the free throw line by the Knights.
Lead now 14. Wesley has been bone dry in scoring for some time. And unable to break that streak here. Walker, pass is tipped. Oh, and that's a walk. Overthunk it just a little bit, and that's all that it took. I'll tell you though, Mike, I'm very interested. Coach Burrows has not called a timeout to break this up, and it's been quite a while. Am I misreading that?
Well, some coaches want to get through the first half without calling any timeout, so they have everything left in the second half to help with a comeback or to salt things away. But once you start getting into double digits, you have to call a timeout to stem the tide.
Three-pointer is good by the Wolverines. That one, J.W. Lawson. Oh, good look.
Oh, Rumbaugh just couldn't convert there.
$1 million pass and a 5-cent finish. Jacobson applying a lot of pressure there. 3 Knights in defense. Walker with it on the run.
And Adamson.
And on the back. I don't know. No foul call.
Well, just
Very
like
short.
Just like in the women's game, we've got to be able to convert on layups. Even if you feel a little bit of pressure there, but with hands, you've got to be able to finish through contact.
Jacobson, knowing the situation, slows it down, both because they have the lead and that things are getting a bit out of hand. They want to make sure they get a good possession. 10 seconds to shoot. Walker in and out. Bodies all over the place. Rumbaugh. And an offensive foul. You know, Mike, you said we hadn't seen many calls that could have gone one way or the other. That might be one, and that's a third foul for Rumbaugh.
Well, again, Aaron had about a 5-foot jump shot. Just go straight up, lay it off the glass, kiss it, and you're coming down with a 13-point lead.
The lead now 11, 16-second difference between shot and game. A lot of talk about it, and then the three-point goes down.
Well, if no one's going to go out there and challenge it,
yeah,
that's a free shot for a lot of players. You're only 2 steps off the three-point line.
Lawson now leading the way with 10 for the Wolverines. 2-second differential. So the Knights can essentially hold for the last shot if they choose to. Langford, Walker. Walker drives. Gets away from Adamson. Finds Edmonds. Gives back, no good. Shot clock is off. And travel, it's got to be, it is. As he's going to the ground. That one just going a little too fast. Got away from him.
Yes. All his momentum started leaning forward, and once you're going that fast, there's no way you can come back from that. Glad to see that he got up without any injury from hitting the floor that hard.
0.4 of a second inbound.
And Buddy the Elf takes one to the face.
Well, Buddy can defend himself. If you've seen the movie Elf, he's awful good throwing snowballs, so trust me, if he got hit, he'd be returning fire pretty quickly. So the Knights going up at the half, 39-31. I'm not sure you're happy with that if you're Coach Caputo, though. You were up 14 just 2 or 3 minutes ago, and then that lead got cut into substantially. Things really not faring as well as you would have liked. And as you mentioned, winning the last 5 minutes, the Knights won minutes, I guess, 5 through 2, but in the last 2 minutes, they're not as well as they would have liked.
Yeah, a lot of lapses on the defensive end and on the offensive end, especially on the defensive end where you let a free shooter be wide open at the top of the key and give him plenty of time to think about it and then test the wind and shoot it. Coach Caputo cannot be happy about that little lack of attention to detail.
Oh, yeah, he was there forever. It's like he was asking his teammates, can I shoot this? Are we good with this? Everyone's like, yeah, we're good.
And that's what brought
fire away.
That's what brought him down to under the 10-point lead. Offensively, we saw some shots inside the lane just being missed left and right.
Yeah,
that the Knights have to be able to get through contact and make.
Well, we'll see if they're able to do that in the second half. Now we're going to break away for about 14 more minutes. The Knights leading at the half versus the Wesley Wolverines 39-31. Stick around, folks. The Knights have a good one for you. Welcome everyone to the beginning of the second half of the Southern Virginia men's basketball game as they host the Wesley College Wolverines. Looking over the stats in the first half, one big conclusion: nobody should be fouling anybody because both teams are shooting below 35% from the field and 80% from the free throw line for Wesley, and 95%, 18 for 19 for the Knights. Anders Jacobson missed that one, 12 for 13.
Yeah, and those are the only two stats that really stand out for either team.
And that time, two Wesley players falling on each other. I was immediately thinking, wow, that was an over the back, but when it's over the back of your own player, that's not a foul, right?
Not a foul.
It's something, but it's not a foul. So that'll give the Knights their first offensive possession of the second half. Beatty from three, around and out. And a quick look ahead. Not sure why you would take that shot. You've got an open drive to the cup. But I guess thought he had a good enough shot there. But it doesn't drop. Adamson, stutter step. Langford off the glass. And Langford is the first to strike here in the second half. Puts the lead for the Knights back up to 10. They led by, I believe, as many as 14 in the first half.
Yes.
Before the Wolverines cut it down to 8. Jump step. Langford is going to get called for the foul. And the basket is good as well. Langford, however, it's been an odd day. His first foul. And we're in the second half. And he played in the first half.
He played a lot in the first half.
And the friendly bounce that time, as the basket is good for J.W. Lawson. Jacobson gets out in front of the press. Walker finds Langford, who is fouled. And the fouling is quick and early here in the second. That one on Lawson, just his first. Nobody has had a lot of fouls piled up on him, but there's been a lot to go around, that's for sure. Langford misses the first.
Yeah, a lot of even distributions.
That drops the Knights to a paltry 90% free throw shooting. I think there are a lot of coaches in the country that would be happy to settle for that.
Well, they'd be willing to settle for 75%.
I think there's a coach in the NBA.
Yeah.
Who might have a son that used to play for Duke that would be happy with that. And a foul, again. They're coming out quick. Adamson hit with his second. So just because it's played a big role throughout the season, not as much in this game, but that may change the rate they're coming in now. Let's review. Adamson, Beatty, Mosley with 2. As that free throw is good by Lawson. Rumbaugh with 3. Walker and Langford with 1 apiece. For the Wolverines, Lennon, Tooney, Scott. Bowers with 2 apiece. Craven, Lawson, Brinkley, Anderson, Kelly with 1 apiece, as that one goes down as well. And we have a timeout taken on the floor. So making sure that we're So apparently the referee's saying that they can't be behind, fans cannot be behind the backboard when shooting free throws?
On the floor.
I'm very confused by, I watch a lot of basketball, Mike.
Yeah.
Referee saying he refuses to continue the game until that is changed. Saying, I don't care who does it. Somebody has to move the fans from standing behind the backboard. Says that to Coach Caputo and then walks away.
And as long, I guess, as they're not standing on the floor, I guess it's okay for them to be standing there.
That was, Coach Caputo asked that. The referee clearly said not, but we'll see. Very interesting interaction. Walker fights for that one.
3 seconds.
A lot of commotion down low. That shot goes long, and Adamson there needs some help though, and a blocking foul will be called. Jordan Johnson started this game, and until this point, by my count, had no fouls and no points.
Well, on the women's side, we've only got one other game that's been reported in right now so far, and Frostburg fell to Christopher Newport 80-43.
I don't think that's a big surprise to anybody. Christopher Newport dominating the Capital Athletic Conference, and Frostburg really struggling this season. But upsets certainly happen. Adamson with a little stop and go. Gives to Langford, to Beatty, to Walker, to Jacobson. Good ball movement by the Knights. Back over the top to Adamson, 10 to shoot. Adamson with a little okey doke. No good, he gets it back. And they're gonna say he stepped on the end line. Both teams really energized, really fighting for this one. The lead is 6. Wesley with a chance to cut it to 4 for the first time in a long time. And a offensive foul. 23 called for that. Anthony Bowers, his third. And while the Knights picked up a charge early, as did the Wolverines, there's been moving screens called on the Wolverines that the Knights have had issues with this season, but not so tonight. Caught in the corner, turned over, and blocked at the rim by Walker. And then tipped in by Wayne Lennon. His first points of the game. Count the basket. And that's going to be a foul on Walker. I do have to say, Walker got called for an offensive foul 10 seconds into the game. Has played the majority of the first half and most of the second now as well. And just now picked up his second.
And now the game's starting to break down for the Knights, which is playing into the hands of the Wolverines. The Knights got to regain control. They got to find some continuity on offense, and defensively they got to find that help defense that was so great for them in the first half.
Yeah, they certainly have the tools to do it. They just have to pull it together and get back to what was working. I'll tell you, since we have a timeout, I want to point out, I know we've got some camera people listening in. I want to see if we can get a shot of John Sargent. He is our facilities director. He's over in the stands in a green Southern Virginia University sweatshirt on about the third row. This is a very impressive thing. John has been a huge blessing to this campus. He's helped out a lot as our facilities director, but I love nothing more than he is sitting in the third row in a green Southern Virginia sweatshirt as we play Wesley, his former employer, where he came down here. We were able to commandeer him, and I love that he's coming out and supporting the Knights here. So Lennon to the free throw line, who has not scored until that bucket. And now this one. The Knights may have a concern if they've woken a sleeping giant in several scorers, or several players that had not scored yet that now begin to. Beatty gets across the timeline. 1-on-5, why not? Beatty gets a bucket, coming right back for the Wolverines now. The lead is 5. The game has really picked up the pace in the last couple minutes, Mike.
Yeah, and just because the pace picked up doesn't mean that the execution is any better than what was in the first half.
True. Little elbow jumper, no good. Jacobson comes away with it. Jacobson had 6 rebounds in the first half, leading the way for the Knights. Tied with Walker. Those are interesting stats when you've got your 2 guards leading. Walker fighting for that one as well, but can't get it.
Well, what we'd like to believe is the big guys are boxing out so well that the guards are able to get all the rebounds.
Yep. That's what we'd like to believe. That's going to be a foul on Langford. A quick number 2 for him. It's going to bring Jordan Johnson to the line. Again, a starter for the Wolverines who is yet to score. But able to connect on that one.
And slowly the Wolverines are reeling the Knights back in.
They are. Distributed scoring starting to happen for the Wolverines. Really, it was Lawson and Brinkley who told the story in the first half. They're now able to get some help from their teammates. The lead is 4. $15 to shoot. 10 to shoot. Jacobson finds Walker on the baseline. That one tipped over, and it's going to sail out of bounds, and it's going the other way. 5 seconds to shoot. It goes out of bounds. The Knights come away with that late in the shot clock, not even getting a shot off.
Yeah, and look a little bit out of sorts on the offensive end of confusion of what we're running and what we're trying to accomplish when we're running it.
Oh, good look inside there, and yeah, that's... So, Nate Adamson looking very confused at that call, but I don't know why. That was... He full-on put 2 hands on him and shoved him.
Not only that, but one of his hands was on his elbows, pulling down on the forearms at the same time.
Yeah, and turned and looked at the referee while he was doing it, too. That's interesting.
Well, you know, no player believes that they ever foul anybody.
No. And barely drawing iron that time, Johnson. You know, we should have pointed that out, too. Wesley shot 80% from the free throw line in the first half, which is very, very good, even though one of them airballs.
Yes. But now the fortunes are turning because they were going to the free throw line much more than the Knights are. In that first half, the Knights went to the free throw line 19 times as opposed to only 10 for the Wolverines.
Johnson made the adjustment necessary to hit the second free throw. The lead now down to 3. Knights have led by as many as 14. That's stripped away.
It's going to stay Knights ball.
Coach Burrows trying to will his team to win. He's become a lot more vocal here in the second half.
Yeah, more vocal and animated.
Yeah, as the game has gotten closer, he's felt it his job to inject some energy into his team. Once again, they're aiming for our camera people. And in this case, turning the ball over while doing it. Rumbaugh will come back in with 3 fouls to relieve Adamson also with 3.
And as the Wolverines are starting to pick their game up, the Knights are starting to lose their game.
Yeah, they really are starting to show some cracks. Walker helping collapse on the defense. And it's going to the Knights. You know, maybe not particularly clean in either half, but it's become a lot more heated, I think, Mike.
Yes.
So close now. Both teams really hotly contesting every possession. Good ball movement by the Knights, finding Jacobson. Thought about it.
Both teams are really understanding what is on the line now. If you lose this game, if you're Wesley, then you're pushed down to the bottom of the conference, and with really your chances dwindling as far as getting into the tournament.
Walker for 3, too strong.
If you're the Knights and you lose this game, now you're tied with Wesley. Your games are over with them, and you're going to have to pick up some other wins someplace.
Walker with the steal. Jacobson grabs it. Out ahead to Walker. Lobs it back to Rumbaugh. Just going too fast.
Then the Knights trying to force things to happen instead of letting them happen.
It has been a lead of 3 for several possessions. Neither team really able to do what they want to. And that's Rumbaugh's 4th.
Yeah, a tale of 2 halves.
Yeah.
Just the Knights not being able to do hardly anything that they want in the second half, as opposed to the first half when everything went their way.
Yeah, we're 6 minutes into this half, and we've only seen a total of 5 points scored by the Knights. It's going to be an illegal screen call. That really a call that is plaguing the Wolverines.
Yeah, and on the next foul that the Knights commit, the Wolverines are shooting 1-and-1. And with 14 minutes to go, you want to try to extend that as far as you can if you're the Knights.
Oh, yeah. Especially considering how well free throw shooting's been happening. Beatty loses it that time. Thornton travels with it. And the 44-41 game continues.
Again, just like the women's game, no one really wants to step out and take a hold of this game in the second half.
High elevation on that one, and the shot drops. That was Binkley, I believe.
Bowers.
Excuse me?
Bowers.
Oh, there you go.
It's hard to see those outline numbers on the uniform.
Need young eyes like yours. Walker cuts through the lane. Cale Thornton cleans it up. 7 seconds to shoot, though. Jacobson drives, kicks. Edmonds. No good. Thornton, rebound, no. Tipped up and in by Beatty. The lead is 3. Spinning, slashing, and getting fouled.
And the Wolverines have really put it into high gear. That counterattack was just so fast the Knights couldn't get back to try to defend it.
And the world is starting to come back in balance. Cale Thornton just got his first foul call. Lawson at the free throw line for Wesley and makes the first. You know, we were talking about trying not to hit 40 fouls. We've had 11 in the first 7 minutes of this half. We had 20, so we were right on pace with 20 in the first half. Edmonds fights for the rebound there. Resetting the shot clock, should be at 27. I'll tell you, Mike, the Wesley fans in the house, the women's team are getting kind of ruckus. The Knight fans, though, very quiet.
Very quiet, and your team's up by 2. Now's when they need to feed off some energy.
Yeah.
But our fans just aren't giving it to them as much as the Wolverines fans are.
Oh, good no-look pass. Beatty. They're called just out of bounds off of Beatty, I guess.
Yes, so it went off his head. David got himself a little bit too far up underneath the basket.
The chance to tie or take the lead for the Wolverines, who've trailed this entire half and most of the first. The referee's going to talk it over. Traveling. Coach Caputo calling for a 3-second violation, but I think he'll be fine with the travel.
Yeah. But this set of referees not calling the 3 seconds as opposed to the women's game where we saw several 3 seconds called on McFarland.
Jacobson steps into it, gets it, 3-pointer, Anders Jacobson. Then lead back up to 5. But again, it's so quiet.
Yeah, so quiet, and this is unusual.
It is.
Again, strange days, strange start time.
And the 3 is answered at the other end by Lennon. The lead back to 2.
And Wesley goes into a zone.
Jacobson with the ball. To Walker, looks inside for Thornton. Short on the shot.
Just short arms that little jump hook. Had great position in the lane.
He did. Jacobson in defense. Walker comes down with the rebound. Kevin calling a set. Working it around. Walker, Edmonds. Fakes it. Walker, 10 to shoot. Walker drives, shoots. Got it!
That's only Walker's 4th point.
Yeah, which is very surprising that the Knights are in the lead despite that. Just losing the handle. Beatty looking to get out and run. Takes him a second to get the ball. And he gets fouled on the way up. We'll see who they charge it to. It is Jordan Johnson, his second. Points were a lot easier to come by in the first half, Mike.
The first half, much better offensive execution by both teams.
And that free throw, no good for Beatty, who is a very good free throw shooter. That'll also see Zach Porter come into the lineup for Thornton. Misses them both. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Edmonds. Just his first. We're now 13 fouls in the first 9.5 minutes. And being that that's foul number 8, we're shooting at the 1-and-1.
And as you alluded to earlier, there's nothing easy in the CAC.
No.
We just fooled ourselves into thinking that in the first half, seeing how the Knights were executing offensively and defensively.
First free throw is good for Johnson. Misses. Oh, and that's unfortunate. It looked like Lennon tried to save it in and hit Johnson with it, who knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, unfortunate for Wesley, fortunate for the Knights. Again, a cardinal mistake of letting the rebound go to the offensive team on the free throws.
Beatty streaking, takes it all the way and connects at the other end. He's now got 16. Jacobson with 17. The lead is 5 as we are now at the midpoint of this second half.
Well, then after those two, there's nobody even close to double digits. So there's got to be another scorer come in.
And a travel. That's a good call. There was some contact there at the end of it, but that's as he was falling back, clearly had already lost control.
Travel. Yep.
Jacobson to bring the ball up the floor. This time, not the full court press, just the token pressure.
And Wesley looks like they're back into a little bit of a matchup of a 2-3 zone.
Jacobson in the corner. 9 to shoot. Good look. Beatty for 3. Splash! David Beatty coming through in the clutch. Now up 8. And the Knights are starting to amass that lead they had in the first half. And Kevin Walker came flying up there. And now we'll get the foul on top of it. That looks like it's going to be Craven. It is.
And now the Knights will be shooting 1-and-1.
I was about to say we had gone about a minute without a foul, but now we're catching up.
16 foul.
14 fouls now in 11 minutes. Technically 10 minutes and 53 seconds. The way it's going right now, we could have a 15th by the time this runs out. But no. Edmonds, Jacobson. Beatty fakes the 3, pulls up, short.
Oh, and no defensive balance for the Knights that time.
Basket at the other end by Lawson. Lead down to 6. A lot of contact. Nobody gets anything. Jacobson just continues.
We do have the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. I think there's a little bit of action going on.
Warming up for it. Oh, my goodness. Thought about the 3, steps in, and the pull-up jumper is good. Craven, his first points of the game. Edmonds, Jacobson. Langford heads to the scorer's table to check in at the next dead ball. Jacobson drives, kicks. Edmonds, 10 to shoot. And they're...
So now Kevin Walker will be going to the free throw line.
Evan Anderson called for that. Mike, they wait to see if the shot drops and then call a foul on the floor.
Maybe, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the whistle was not close enough to his mouth and he was fumbling to try to find it.
Sure, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there was a solar flare which caused radiation.
I'm trying to be a glass half full guy.
We appreciate it.
And Kevin Walker struggling at the free throw line.
He is now the Knights' free throw shooting percentage back down out of the stratosphere. Still very good, in large part to Jacobson's efforts. Walker jumps that route. Just came flying in, and this is the time of game where Walker just has another gear.
Yeah, nice anticipation. Kind of baited the slow bounce pass to come in and just stepped right in.
He flew up to grab a rebound there, that time jumping in. He's got an extra gas tank or an extra gear or something that just nobody else seemed to have.
And this is one of the harder places to try to bring the ball in from out of bounds, is right down next to the baseline. But Wesley allows it to happen.
Yeah, 10 seconds to shoot. Jacobson, turn around at the free throw line. You know, that's his shot. If he's able to make it when he's just shooting free throws, chances are he can make it in live ball as well.
Well, you use those shoulders to lean in, create some space, and then a nice little pivot and step back shot. Nobody there to contest him.
It's like a library in here, Mike. I don't understand.
Again, different, and there's plenty of fans.
Yeah, it's full. 7 seconds. Off the mark, but rebounded by Wolverines. Second pull-up that time is good for Craven.
And you can't allow them to have those second shots. That just adds to their fuel and their fire.
Beatty, some nifty dribbling, goes up with it and will draw the foul. That one's going to be on Brinkley, just his second. So just as the scoring is distributed, the fouls very much so as well. That's going to send Beatty to the line.
And the Knights need to get back to that great free throw shooting percentage that they had in the first half this last 6 minutes.
Ooh, and that not going to do it. George Cook coming in for the Wolverines. And that's a full timeout. That's going to be taken by Coach Caputo.
Now this last 6 minutes, again, free throw shooting is going to play a huge part for both teams. Wesley's going to want to get to the free throw line, score with the clock stopped. The Knights are going to want to get to the free throw line to extend the lead. It's going to come down to who can control the ball better without making needless turnovers.
Well, and turnovers have been relatively tame. At least they were in the first half. But things have, as the pace of the game has increased, as the emotion of the game has increased, it's certainly they've become more prevalent. And both teams at this point, with the margin as close as it is, neither team can really afford them.
Another update from one of the women's CAC games going on at Mary Washington. York is up 34-33 at the start of the third.
Hotly contested contest there by the sounds of it.
Very. Other games just started around 6 o'clock, and then the men's will be following them later on at 8.
So makeup games all around the league because of the cancellation, because of snow. The CAC came out and said unsafe to travel, moratorium on games this weekend. We're just wholesale moving everything, and they do that. Yeah. As inconvenient as it is, as much as it can cause a lot of headaches. You love to see organizations.
Yeah, this is I'll turn the ball over, you turn the ball over.
It's a gentleman's agreement.
Gentleman's agreement.
So we apologize for the technical difficulties. You haven't missed much, except for both teams kind of turning the ball back over.
Yeah.
C.3.
Especially when you know you're going to get 2 shots no matter what.
Yeah. Got it. Jacobson in unofficial 23, which by my math is more than a third of the Knights' points in this ballgame.
He and Beatty have carried the team today.
Yeah, combining for 43. No good. Jacobson with the rebound as well. He's got to have a double-double on with rebounds. He has to. And just surviving through a lot of pressure.
He's getting hot there by George Cook, just making Anders' life as miserable as possible.
Oh, yeah. 8 to shoot. Beatty, Walker. Got to put it up. Got to put it up. Loses it. Langford. And that's a shot clock violation. When you're up with 2:45 left, it's not the worst thing in the world. You at least burned a lot of clock. You didn't run out and get a fast miss. But you'd like to see something.
Yeah, something's got to get up so you have at least a chance for an offensive rebound.
Yeah, those last 6 seconds, the ball was just kind of squirting out of people's hands. Can't come up with it. Oh, nice fake. Not the best shot, though. Rumbaugh got it and then just had it taken away.
Again, you got to be able to finish defensive positions with the rebounds.
That one's short. Rumbaugh comes up with it. Won't give this one away. Beatty gets it into the front court and then runs it out.
Yeah, Coach Caputo telling pull it out, want to run some clock. They can shoot the ball with less than 1:50 on the clock.
10 to shoot. Beatty. The lead is 8. Jacobson. Creates, going to the floor, draws the foul. All good things, all good things. Cook's first foul. He's been a very impressive defender on Jacobson.
He has, and if you're the Knights, you've got to be a little bit concerned, though. You're just getting bailed out at the last few seconds.
Yeah, you're not getting good shots.
Yeah, at 10 seconds, they're still just trying to pass the ball around. That's when you need to have some type of formula and some type of plan to attack.
Perfect. What do you say besides that? That shot was perfect. Both. 25 points for Anders Jacobson. 20 points for David Beatty. And the timeout taken by Coach Caputo. The lead is 10, but we have seen leads like that evaporate in this gym this season for good and for ill.
Yes. You can't take anything for granted. The Knights have to keep on playing now, looking to make sure they attack. I would start to look for some type of attack of the basket with more than 10 seconds. Between the 12 and 10 seconds, they've got to be setting some type of screen, looking for something going toward the basket instead of just hoping that with 3 seconds to go, they can just drive toward the basket and throw something up and get a foul called. Defensively, you know that the Wesley Wolverines are going to be seeking bodies, trying to get the foul and the basket to go in, or looking for the three-point line.
Well, and on the upside, offensively, you have to imagine the Wolverines are going to help the Knights out a little bit as far as speeding up, because it's not going to be too much longer before they have to foul.
Yes.
They have to, because at 10 points and a 2-minute game, it's going to very quickly become mathematic where they have to try to get a possession.
Yeah, you're looking at probably about 6 to 8 possessions left if Wesley doesn't try to do anything to foul. Once the fouling starts, then the possessions will go up, and you want to get the ball in the free throw shooter's best hands. Tonight, that's been Anders.
It has. Both in quantity and quality of shot, Anders Jacobson has been just outstanding tonight.
Hey, come on.
Oh, and the handoff.
And again, another illegal screen.
Yeah, when he's losing the ball like that, you become a screener. And very unfortunate turn of events if you're a Wolverine fan. A lot of conversation going on. Beatty gets it into Rumbaugh, takes himself for a moment, and that's going to be the foul. That on Wayne Lennon, his fourth. And whereas fouls had not been an issue throughout as far as player disqualification, we're getting there now. Lennon with 4, Bowers with 4 on the other end. Excuse me, just the third on Lennon. So Bowers with 4 and Rumbaugh with 4 at the other end.
Again, if you're Anders Jacobson, you want to go and seek the ball. Get it back into your hands on the offensive side.
Had a very unfortunate trip to the free throw line. Jacobson comes away with it. And a technical foul assessed.
Coach Burrows.
Technical foul assessed against Coach Burrows of the Wolverines. He is not liking what he's seeing on that. And that'll send Anders Jacobson to the free throw line. Probably not what you want to see.
Yeah, well, if you're the Knights, that's what you do want to see.
Oh, absolutely.
Again, going to the free throw line, knowing he's going to have 2 free throws.
Got him. Unofficially, 27 for Anders Jacobson. And I'm guessing every bit of 18 of those from the free throw line.
Keep the ball moving ahead of the foul.
The overwhelming majority.
Yeah. Jacobson happy to hang on to the ball for as long as he can. Beatty finishes at the rim. 22. .49 points between Jacobson and Beatty. The Wolverines have outscored them by 8. Well, make it 11. The three-pointer good that time by Cook. His first points of the game, I believe. Walker gives it away to Beatty. Fakes it to the outside. And we're under a minute to play.
Again, if I was Jacobson, I would be seeking the ball out.
Oh, yeah. Langford, Jacobson. And there's the foul. Why you play defense until he gets the ball, I don't know. If you're going to wait that long in the shot clock and then foul the best free throw shooter on, I don't know.
Again, these are 18 to 21-year-olds. They're learning how to play the game. They're learning the concepts and stuff. And sometimes things just don't register the way that coaches would like them to register.
Oh, sure. Well, and also they're doing more than just analyzing the game. They're living it. So details like that don't always work out. Jacobson, a little bit of a smile on that one. Knew he shorted it and wanted to step in, but did so just a little too quickly. The lead now 12 with 40 seconds. The Knights looking to close this one out. Langford fights for that one very impressively. And that a jump ball, I believe?
Jump ball.
Which will favor the Knights. Everything coming up Southern Virginia at this point.
Yeah, 1.1 differential between the shot clock and the game clock. I don't think that Wesley's going to let the Knights just hold on to the ball too long.
And the home run ball to Walker.
And very smart with Walker bringing it back out.
That was a great throw by Beatty as well. My goodness. Coach Dupay may want to look at him as a quarterback. Oh, he's going to be out of eligibility. Never mind.
Yeah, I think Valerie has other ideas for David after he graduates here.
No doubt. J.W. Lawson picks up that one. That's going to send Adamson to the line. And the free throw shooting flurry continues. There was a while there where it dipped in this game, but still a very, very impressive all-around performance by this team, and specifically by Anders Jacobson. And an emphatic dunk that time by Lawson. That'll get him up to 20, but will not change the final outcome as the Southern Virginia Knights come away with the victory 74-62 over conference opponent, the Wesley College Wolverines. A hard-fought game by both teams. Both teams had times where they were really in sync, really working well, and times where they weren't. And I think hats off to the Wolverines, who really gave the Knights a scare there in the second half after what looked in the first like it should have been really gotten away from them.
Yeah, the Wolverines came out in the second half with a real purpose. The Knights look a little bit confused at some points, but that last 5 minutes were able to hit the free throws when they needed it.
Well, very, very impressive. We're going to get an interview here in just a second with Anders Jacobson. What an amazing performance by him today. He's contributed to the Knights in a lot of ways this year, but none perhaps more than tonight. Leading scorer for the Knights and doing a heck of a lot of damage at the free throw line as well.
Hello, Anders. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing, Coach?
Doing much better since you pulled out the win, right?
Yes, sir.
So, great game. Unofficially, we have you for about 28 points. Most of those points coming from the free throw line. You look very comfortable at the free throw line. Was that part of your idea or a team idea of y'all wanted to attack Wesley and get to the free throw line as much as possible?
Yeah, our plan was to move the ball enough to get some gaps in their defense and then attack, and we took advantage of it and definitely knocked down some big free throws. Everybody on the team did. So yeah, free throws were huge for us.
Well, Anders, we've seen y'all play really great in the barn here. When you go on the roads, somehow the game just doesn't travel with you. You have several games coming up on the road on Wednesday and Saturday. What can be done in your mind to help travel well?
I think just the atmosphere here in the barn is so great. It's tough for opponents to come in and play, and we just feed off the energy from the crowd. And I think just bringing our own energy, our bench, and just everybody on the court bringing their own energy and getting everybody motivated for the away games is something that we really need to start doing more. I think to pull out some more road wins.
Well, it puts you at 6-6 in the conference. It breaks a 5-way tie for third place right now. We'll have to see how Penn State, Harrisburg, Mary Washington, and St. Mary's and York do later on. We're hoping that they all lose and that y'all be in third place all by yourself. Again, trying to get to that 8 wins in the conference. That seems to be historical to have you get into the conference tournament. So, again, congratulations. 28 points. We noticed you had a ton of rebounds. They got you for 10 rebounds, a nice double-double. 19 of 21 from the free throw line. If y'all continue to play well like this and especially seize the moments, we're looking forward to maybe hosting one of the CAC tournament games, and would love to see you here back at that time and talk to you again.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team and get rested up for that game on Wednesday.
Appreciate it. This one's for my grandma. She passed away on Friday. So
we're sorry about that. So Anders dedicating this game to his grandmother who passed away on Friday, playing with a little bit of a heavy heart. He had Anders telling us that he dedicated this game to his grandmother who passed away on Friday, playing with a little bit of heavy heart, but did a heck of a job for her.
Yeah, did his grandmother proud for sure. This has been, we've talked about Anders contributing in a lot of ways this season, and I think in a lot of ways he's the emotional leader of the team at times. He's been here the longest. He brings a lot of continuity to the team, and he really settles them down when they need to as well. But tonight, they needed him to score points, and turns out he showed that he's very, very capable of doing that as well. 19 for 21 at the free throw line. What settles down a team and provides more consistency than that?
Especially if that's one of your main ball handlers, because hey, we can get the ball to Anders, and if they foul him, he's going to put it in. He and David Beatty did the majority of the work on the offensive end, but the rest of the nights contributed in all facets of the game. Boxing out, we saw some great movement on the defensive end. Moving is one, clogging up the middle. Hopefully they can take what we saw tonight and have it travel with them on Wednesday and Saturday.
Absolutely. Best of luck to them in those games. As far as broadcasts are concerned, we are at home for a wrestling on Wednesday. Join us for that broadcast. And then the next basketball broadcast we have is a week from Wednesday here at home. 5:30 women's game and 7:30 men's game. Stick around for that. We'll update you on the scenarios that we've talked about as far as where the Knights team, men's and women's, stand as far as the CAC tournament as they strive to compete in that as the season comes to an end. Again, your final score, the Southern Virginia Knights 74, the Wesley Wolverines 62. The men's team coming away with the victory today. For Mike Harmon and the rest of the broadcast team, I'm Art Furler. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.